It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
It's a flight fight.
It's the finals.
Sarah, here we are. The big dance. The big game. Finally, people can stop watching our very first video from 2016 where we did 50 bourbons under $25.
Yeah, stop watching that. Like, don't go back to that. Just watch this one from now on. It's needed an update. It's about 3 years old. A little bit over.
4, yeah.
Close to 4. And so, things have changed. Other things have come out. Prices have changed.
Yeah.
There's been a lot.
Things
change, Chad.
Things change, Mox.
So
love that quote. So here's the finals. Now, we aired various flights until we got to the semifinals, which we then aired all 4 of the semifinals. So if you want to know how these things got there, just go back and watch those. So we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do, Sarah, is go all the way back to 2019 and talk about our predictions of what we thought was going to be in these finals. Let's check it out. So, Sarah, I thought in this finals we would have, of course, Wild Turkey 101, Jim Beam Double Oak, Jim Beam Distiller's Cut, and Knob Creek Small Batch. Well, 1 for 4 isn't great, but at least I got one. Knob Creek is in this flight.
you were really Jim Beam confident on that lineup, weren't you?
I was, but are you one to talk? Let's look at your
Okay.
predictions.
Okay, fine. So I also did that too. I predicted Jim Beam Repeal Batch, Evan Williams 1783, Jim Beam Distiller's Cut, and Knob Creek Small Batch, which again was the only one to make it out of all those predictions.
So yeah, well, we didn't do so great on that
Surprise!
front,
We're
but
wrong.
I want to say that we took some people's comments, and instead of the one flight where we differed in our semifinals, we decided to put both of them in here. So this will be a flight of 5 for both of us. I'll be
fun.
drinking one of Sarah's winners. She'll be drinking one of my winners.
But we'll be having them all at the same time.
All at the same time,
But
which
we
is
don't
what
know.
people seem to like. So now, Sarah, let's check out what's in this flight.
All right, in our 64 under $30 Flight Fight Finals, we have David Nicholson 1843 at 100 proof, Evan Williams Single Barrel at 86.6 proof, Buffalo Trace at 90 proof, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond at 100 proof, and Knob Creek Small Batch at 100 proof. So,
What stands out on that, Sarah?
a lot of 100 proof options. We're actually within 14, proof points between all of them, which will make it a bit more interesting because nothing's going to jump out and scream, I'm the high proof one, because
Right.
there really aren't.
All right, let's get started. Flight of 5. Here we go. Bourbon A. Peanut butter? Peanuts?
Peanut butter?
Peanut
Question mark?
butter?
I don't know on this one. I don't want to spend a ton of time overanalyzing the first one.
But yeah, I
Like
get
normal
some
vanilla
nuttiness.
caramel, a little nuttiness. Yeah. Standard stuff.
All right. Oh,
Nutty.
Wow. Yeah.
Dried peanuts, though.
Oh, yeah.
Something leads me to believe that this might be one of the 100 proof ones.
Agreed.
The dancing on my tongue, maybe.
Yes. The tongue tingle, the tongue punch, the nuttiness. As you said like peanuts.
Like a dried
like
peanut,
salted peanut. It's got a nice little brittle finish. It's starting to slowly creep down into the chest area. Enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, enjoyable. Ooh.
Fruit? Why is everything I say a question now? Fruit.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Your words are on a dip.
I'm
there.
a cartoon character tonight.
Clearly.
No, fruit, berries, sweet, kind of
I'm getting some orange zest.
sorghum is what I'm getting. Yeah, there is some zestiness in there.
Honeysuckle.
A little
Like
bit
a little floral, a little fruity.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
A little bit of cereal.
I don't remember thinking about that about any of them before, but okay. Still a little nutty note.
Yeah.
I'm getting more of like a barley though.
Yes, there is more of a grain note. I think that was a cereal I was picking up on the nose.
I have a hypothesis.
I do too.
Somewhat light, a little sweet, which makes me think it's one of the lower proof options. It doesn't taste like Buffalo Trace, and we know that Heaven Hill, their barley content, sometimes tends to give off that nutty flavor.
Yeah,
So
higher.
you can just deductive reasoning. Just do it.
Oh, that's
Ooh, I like that nose.
syrupy and fruity.
Nice little char, little toasted layer.
I got elements of a Four Roses, which I know there's not a Four Roses in here, but it kind of like one of their single barrels.
I think it's got a lot of caramel.
Yeah, it does.
Salty, caramely.
Caramel like a wild turkey, but again, we don't have a wild turkey in here. This is like a chameleon nose.
Interesting.
Oh, now that one's lighter.
Yeah. Doesn't quite carry that through on the palate. I need to go back for a second sip because I don't know if I was just expecting something else, but it's like I missed the first part of it looking for something and I didn't actually let it land. I did get a fruity note there towards the end. So yeah, let me just take a swish of water and then I'm gonna go back.
Swoosh it. I think what's also gonna be interesting about this, Sarah, is if the one wheater of the group reveals itself. It's really just lovely.
It's really nice and pleasant. It's coming off light too.
I don't know.
Very delicate. I'll say it's delicate.
It is delicate and it's also
finish.
fruity.
Yes. But I like it.
Floral.
There's a little mustiness to it.
It does, but I know I've smelled this before. Oh, obviously, I've noticed this before. But
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Familiar smell.
It's like an oat.
Yeah.
It's an oatmeal cream of wheat type of.
I definitely get like oat grains and oats, but in a nice way.
Slight nutty.
Like a cereal-ish way.
Yeah.
Slight nuttiness. Yeah. Ooh, that was a little hotter than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the 100 proofs. It does have an oaty, grainy, but I kind of like it because, like you said, it kind of reminds me of oatmeal.
Yeah.
Not in a young way necessarily. I mean, although I wouldn't expect for these to be too old, based on their price range and their value.
Well, it's like a stout oatmeal. You know how we've said boozy syrup before? This is like
boozy oatmeal.
A stiff oatmeal, right?
It has a little spice to it, so I'm gonna vote no wheat content. It does leave with a nice little hug though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Where's the nose?
That's what I was just thinking.
Where'd it go?
I'm having a hard time.
Right.
I don't think this really helps.
Let's pull out all the stops. Let's do the roll. Let's do the 3 blast method. Let's do the mouth closed.
I just did that. Oops. I'm just gonna drink it.
Yeah, not much of a nose, and I'm a little dizzy.
It's very mild. Really mild.
Really mild. This may be the lowest proof. It's coming off as the lowest proof.
I think you might be right.
Not that other one wasn't low proof.
But I still think you're right.
Yeah. A great bourbon, maybe for someone getting into bourbon who fears the burn.
Very mellow.
Yeah.
Really easy. Enjoyable, sweet, still got those caramel vanilla, a little bit of char notes that you would be looking for, but obviously, because duh. But like you said, I think it's super approachable.
Yeah.
It's balanced, I will say that.
I get some fruit and some barrel. A little bit of caramel.
It's got a real short finish though, it's gone pretty quick. It's a little sweeter than what I think I'm normally looking for.
So that means we're now through with round 1. So this is where we cover these up. We go take a break. We come back after about 20 minutes. She takes a nap, come back with a fresh palate, and we tackle these again for round 2. Things always change in round 2. But before we do that, we want to tell you guys about whiskeyambitions.com. It's where both of these t-shirts come from. Look at that.
Just so you can see. The whole
there
thing.
you go.
Erase this.
Actually, all the Glencairns we're drinking out of, the water glasses, Bourbon Works. There's also rocks, glasses, and challenge coins, and more coming soon, always at whiskeyambitions.com.
You can join our Patreon community. It's patreon.com/itsbourbonite. Become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Of course, you can donate more than that if you want to. We have different levels.
Patreon.com/itsbourbonite.
We'll see you there.
We're going to take a little break, and we'll see you soon. What a refreshing break. I'm ready for some whiskey.
Speaking of more refreshments.
It's refreshments time.
There's something about this nose that just feels comforting.
Yes.
It's just nice. Don't get me wrong though, Chad, like in between rounds I was thinking and I was like, there isn't one of these that I don't like. Like, we're really just picking them apart at this point in order to rank them. But I would be pleased with any of these. The fact that any of these are under $30 is really nice.
It's true.
Just keep that in mind when I'm tearing apart bourbon whatever. I don't mean it. There's almost some of those mature notes creeping in there.
Yeah. Almost like it used to be 9 years old at one point. I don't know.
Oh, like maybe at one point it was age shaded at 9 years old, but not anymore.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Don't know.
Total speculation.
Making a bold guess there.
I would love for like a graphic to go.
You're so wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong. 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 You're wrong.
Was that Dr. Cox?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice barrel influence.
Ooh.
Caramel note.
Yeah.
A dash of vanilla and just a little bit of lemon zest almost.
Yeah.
And just like a deep richness to it. Where we left off with E, I was just missing that. It felt very high level, sweet and simple, whereas I feel like this has something to dig into.
Correct. This has
Bourbon
some more layers. I'm kind of getting
it's hanging around too.
a clove spice between clove and cinnamon. It's got a pretty good mouthfeel. I'll say that.
I think you still get a bit of the harshness that you can tell from the quality that is just the result of this price range.
In the price range.
It just is what it is. So many peanuts.
I feel like A
What did we
and
say
B.
the first time? You said fruit?
Yeah, fruit. I think A and B have a very similar nose.
First time around, I would have agreed with you. This time, I think that they're pulling away from each other.
Well, I think of the 5, I would put these 2 as the closest noses.
Okay, fair enough.
This also has sort of a rich syrup type of nose to it, a little sugary.
Yeah, it comes off a little sugary, sweeter, more delicate. I think this one's a bit more grain forward than A was.
Agreed. A little drier.
A little drier. It doesn't have that like rough edges thing that I was talking about on the finish so much. I think it's more consistent all the way through, but I also don't think it achieves the depth that
Agreed.
A
And it also has a little bit of a must to it. A little musty.
does
Just
have
a
just a little touch.
tad musty, and that dryness I wasn't really picking up in round 1.
It's mainly just some simple flavors, like a little nuttiness, your typical flavors.
Your classic bourbon flavors.
I think it's
feel
just
like
your
it's got the
classics.
classic caramel vanilla and some spice in there.
But with just like a little bit of nuttiness and a little bit of mustiness.
Yeah. Now here's where we get that different nose. This time I got like cherry and like ripe fruit.
Okay, so when you nose this, does it not remind you of like a 70s, 80s beam-ish?
I do get the vintage.
Or maybe even like a turkey? It's reminiscent of another time. I'm not saying it smells just like that. I'm saying like to me, the first thing it brought to mind was that.
If like the tobacco juice sort of smell was turned up, it would be like a chess piece.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's speaking to me now.
Is it like a blueberry or a cherry?
I'm getting cherry.
More like exotic type of fruit. I know neither of those are exotic, but
So exotic, those blueberries.
I never eat them.
I feel like everything that's reminiscent of a vintage in the nose is not carried through.
It's not. It's almost sort of watery.
The cherry is. It is watery. It's just hard to come off the other two into this one. It has that like light, bright cherry note, not like a deep, rich like Luxardo cherry or something like that.
Yeah, and the mouthfeel on this one is like an exact opposite of A. It's not bad. Again, this is the finals.
Yeah.
So we are nitpicking, but it compared to the others has a thinner mouthfeel.
I think my favorite part about this one is the nose, and it might be one of the noses that I would rank the highest out of all 5 of these, but I just wanted more from this.
I get more spice the second time around, but
This is like an interesting meld. It's got like a nuttiness and a fruitiness.
I got just dessert. Some type of dessert with nuts sprinkled on the top. This is fighting.
What if it was a hot fudge sundae?
Okay, yes. I like that. I can buy that. I was going to say this is fighting C for the best nose right now.
So second time through, I think this one's got the most forward nuttiness to it. It's like, hey, I'm peanuts and I'm here.
I don't know if
It's peanuts, walnuts.
I don't know if I completely. Well, as it rolls into the finish, I'm getting it more on the finish. The palate, I feel like it's more boozy syrup type of.
Sometime you're gonna have to let me try this boozy syrup that you're always talking about. I'm wondering, like, does he just mix the maple syrup and the alcohol and then just pour that over his
Breakfast
pancakes?
for bourbon.
I live with him and I've never seen this.
Did I say breakfast for bourbon?
That's cute. Because you
Bourbon
would get
for
it
breakfast.
mixed up if you were doing that.
Bourbon D is showing up on the second time around.
Definitely.
It's starting to raise its head.
I think I discounted it a bit on the first round.
I think I did too.
I will say that I think it's like the texture is a little creamier than I had expected.
That you gave
Coming
it
back
credit
around,
for?
yeah, than I gave it credit for.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that. Like props to Bourbon D.
Props, Bourbon D. Good job.
Now this just smells like potpourri to me.
Totally. I was going to say perfume, but yes, I'm feeling you.
Like you walk into some Nana's bathroom and she's got that like that like half bowl crystal thing on the back of the toilet with dried flowers in it, and you're like,
Completely. It's not a perfume of nature. It is a manufactured
perfume de men.
Parfum de Bourbon.
We had such a hard time the first time with the nose,
Yes.
and then it just jumped at me this time. So light and so thin, mild, mellow, good flavor, but compared to the others, it's just sweet to me.
It's sweet
and floral.
It's sweet and vanilla.
Vanilla as in it tastes like vanilla, or vanilla as in it's plain?
Both.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
is it that time of the evening where we
Tis.
do our own thing?
Yeah.
I like to do my own thing.
Yeah, this is where we break away from you guys. We start A/B testing things back to back.
Or CD testing.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, and E this time around. So we're going to start doing this, and we'll be back at results time. See you soon. Okay, wow, it's harder with 5, Sarah.
It is harder with 5.
It takes one drink longer.
It does take more sips. So we have a different order.
We do.
But it looks like we picked the same first and second place.
I love it.
Well, it's nice. I mean, I did like, though, in our very first episode, holding up our 2, little loves.
Well,
we
we'll
did
just
our
have to
little
share
picture.
the one bottle this time.
Oh, it was so cute.
It's all right. All right, Sarah, you put Bourbon C in last place. I did not.
I did. Oh.
I actually put it in third place. So I'm going to read you what your last place is,
I'm comfortable with that.
which is my third place.
Okay.
Sarah, in last place, Bourbon C is Buffalo Trace.
That is a bit of a surprise.
The one that advanced for you, but not me.
Which
I
means-
put in third.
Which means that
You
when
put
I
last.
tried it up against the one that you brought forward, I liked
liked it
that
better.
one better. However, though, we all know that Buffalo Trace is great. And you put it higher.
I put it in third.
And you didn't pick it before.
So happy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so
All
happy.
right. What'd you put in last?
B,
Okay.
which you put in second to last.
That's correct. Your last place, Chad, is David Nicholson, 1843.
Whoa, okay. Well, I was actually
Second
really
to last for me.
surprised that that one advanced. It's such an kind of an outlier.
I was like neck and neck between these two.
Lux
so-
Row, more than likely still sourced at the time of this bottling. 100 proof weeder. I put E second to last. Looks like you put E in third place.
That's correct.
So let's reveal your third place, Sarah,
Oh, okay.
which is my second to last.
We'll list them at the end so you're not
Yeah.
confused. But this is the bottom 3 for both of us.
There'll be a visual aid.
in a different order. Yes, visual aid.
All right, Sarah, your third place.
Okay.
My second to last is Evan Williams Single Barrel. So
Which means that
the
in the
one that I advanced ended up being your third place. The one you advanced ended up being my third place.
What a weird time to be alive. But I just think that goes to show you that you shouldn't write something off just because you have it once and you're like maybe not as much of a fan of it.
That's right.
Your tastes change on different days. So we know that the top 2 for both of us consist of, oh, I can hear everyone hating us now. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond and Knob Creek Small Batch.
They're saying Jim Beam fanboy. They're saying Heaven
Evan
Hill
Williams,
fangirl.
yeah.
They're saying proof hounds because we picked the two
the
highest.
200 proofs.
The two.
They're
200 proof.
saying you're ruining our secret of Evan Williams Bottled and Bond.
It's out.
It's out.
It's out.
Wow, they're saying a lot of things.
They're saying a lot of things.
Are we gonna listen to them?
Who knows? We'll see if we have time. You know how we do. So we have the same first and second place. We're gonna tell you our first place.
Obviously.
Coming in first place, it's Bourbon Night 64 bourbons under $30. Winner for both Chad and Sarah is Knob Creek Small Batch.
I will say
The one prediction that we both made.
we did both make that one prediction, and it did still come in first.
In fact, yes, we both predicted Knob Creek.
Would pull. Oh, we did.
So the only one of the 4 in the semifinals that we got right,
We both
did
predicted.
predict that it would go on
To win.
and it did. Yeah.
oh, the Kool-Aid man, yeah, really threw me off there.
yeah. Here it is.
That is it.
Let's do our obligatory thumbnail. Put your hand on here too, please, and look off. Yeah,
Oh.
that's fine. So, Knob Creek Small Batch 100 proof, previously 9-year age stated, 9-year age statement coming back. They can't
Supposedly.
they can't keep it down. I guess a really good value for under $30. There's no denying it.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
But at a close value, and a significantly less price point when we're talking in that $30 range is the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, which for me
Absolutely.
was actually kind of a close second. Like, I
Yes.
did a back and forth. Originally,
place.
I thought, hey, this is my first place and I know it. And Bourbon D, which was the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, is definitely second place. And then I tested them next to each other and I, for a second, was like, wait 1 minute.
Wait a second.
But upon further examination into the nose and the complexity and the finish, in each category, Knob Creek edged it out. Which makes sense. It's a little bit higher price point. So
Yeah, look at the price difference, though.
just means that they're priced right.
Almost double for Knob Creek Small Batch. This is just skirting the line of $30 in some places. This?
That's what I'm saying, though, is that I'm really excited about our first and second place because I think that you've got two great options under $30 and you can choose one based on your price limit or whatever you want to
On your
spend.
budget or your taste profile or
Anything.
availability or what have you.
You can buy them both for under $50 and you'd be fine.
Oh, all day. Forget about it.
It's nice.
Well, great. I'm satisfied. Sarah?
I'm also satisfied.
All right. Hey, if you've made it this far and you're not a subscriber and you'd like to do so, you can click right up here to do so. There's suggestions of other videos. We will hopefully see you over there in those. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, drink more bourbon.